Hello, TheChartGuys friends. Hope you're doing well. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Bust out the eggnog. It's party time. We're going to look at Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and XRP. Last day on the road for me. Got about 3 more hours to go. Then I'll be settled in, and we'll look at some altcoins tomorrow and a little bit more in depth. Still keeping these videos fairly quick, but consolidation is very clearly underway. Our daily tops have been set. We got one last extra bull push up that I was not anticipating. I was thinking the daily consolidation was coming before that last push up that we had yesterday. So we have one of those scenarios where climaxes are indicating the top. We have the last push up by the bulls, we get follow through in volume, and then a significant push down by the bears, and we didn't establish much support on that last push up on most of these names, and so the pullback is just as swift as the move to the upside. I've been playing around with the alert system here, the TheChartGuys alert system. We're going to go into that a little bit and show you how I look back, and there's an alert that's standing out to me that I'm going to be using from here on out into the short term because of how it's played out historically. But first things first on Bitcoin, we got the bull break with very limited continuation. 41.75 was resistance. We got up to 42.39 and then pulled back hard. And we broke the lows of consolidation at this point. And very clearly with this current daily candlestick, we're now starting to consolidate. Every day of the bounce was a higher low for about 9 days in a row. Now that's obviously not the case. We did not get the bull cross of the exponential moving averages on the daily time frame due to the speed of this pullback. So in order to get that bull cross, we're going to have to form a higher low and see continuation back up to the levels where we were at. If we don't see that, that bull cross is not going to happen. So we're still looking for a daily higher low. I'm watching for the hourly oversold bounce, which we just got, and really just flattening out here. But bulls trying to build a base of support. And looking at the 4-hour time frame, I would not be surprised to see some short-term upside action to set a 4-hour lower high. This looks a bit like a descending triangle. If I were going to draw that out, I would put my downtrend resistance line, uptrend support line, and it looks something like that. So that break is imminent in a couple candlesticks. I would not be surprised for a bull break to set a lower high compared to resistance back here at 40.75. So keeping an eye out for the potential of short-term bullish action. Generally, after a 9-day bull move, the first time we see hourly oversold is when we look for bulls to try and shift that momentum. The 4-hour time frame needs to change the trend for me in order to be looking for the daily higher low to be established. There's our good friend, the bull cross, going to the bear cross of the 12 and 26 period moving averages. Bull cross occurred, bear cross now occurred, and it's clearly showing the shift in momentum. The hourly cross of those exponential moving averages also occurred right before the all-out dump, and that was notable as well. So some of the signals that the alert system looking at here, the 15-minute time frame showing volume. So abnormal volume on the 15-minute time frame, and again here on the right is where you just toggle on and off, and it shows you where on the charts that these alerts went out. And what I really like about that is it allows you to back test and go and say, all right, what alerts worked out on this bounce? What alerts should I be paying more attention to in the next couple of weeks? And because when market cycles shift, alerts obviously shift as well as the indications, the indicators that give us the best signals. As we know, back in early 2017, 4-hour oversold bounces were money. So 4-hour oversold RSI was pretty much all you needed to be looking for playing bounces. Then in the later half of 2007 or 2018, that was no longer the case. And I meant 2018 earlier as well. But the bottom line is we have to constantly be shifting our game plans. What are the signals that are working? And this allows us to do that in a good way. So the 15-minute abnormal volume, it shows, the accumulation and then the bull break occurring, but it also showed the top. The abnormal volume signaled on the bull break that did not get follow through, and we've been pulling back ever since. And now what also stands out to me is the fact that we're seeing accumulation. So there's abnormal volume without a whole lot of bearish follow through. So that's why I'm watching for the potential of that descending wedge to see a bit of a bull break and some short-term relief for those bulls. Again, it's probably not something I'm going to act on. If I were sitting here on the computer, maybe working on my computer today or something along those lines, I might look to make a day trade out of that, but of course not hitting the road. The last thing I want to be doing is trying to scalp a short-term bounce against the midterm momentum if I'm not sitting at my computer. Ethereum on the daily time frame, big upper wicket profit taking volume climax. Pretty easy to see that volume climax coming as it was the highest volume day we've seen in about a month or so. And of course, it's coming at an extended time for the bulls. The bull cross on the daily time frame is likely to occur here because the bulls have more space to work with. Ideal scenario would be to pull back and hold that support level of these exponential moving averages on the daily time frame, that would show a lot of strength. So again, higher lows every single day on the way up, and then we lost that pattern, and now we're seeing the daily consolidation. So the 4 hour, need to see the trend change in order for the daily higher low to be established. Right now, we're still just seeing consolidation and a pullback. We have not seen the bear cross of these exponential moving averages yet. So just compared Bitcoin to Ethereum where we stand, Ethereum has more space above the daily exponential support. It has not seen the bear cross of some exponential moving averages as well. So essentially, because we got that extra leg up much more significantly than Bitcoin, the bulls are in a more comfortable position during this consolidation, and we're not getting as many red flags signaling, bearish action that we are on Bitcoin. So Ethereum does have the hourly exponential resistance to be watching. 130.78 is a key short-term resistance that the bulls are going to have to break. And as far as support goes, we're looking down at 122.62. And if that level breaks, the next support is fairly far away. Again, we ran up so fast, we did not establish a ton of support. 111.53 would be the next support level after that. So this is one of those scenarios where we had, a higher low, higher high pattern, big time pullback on the first consolidation candlestick, a weak bear flag, and then that breaking was pretty much saying, all right, bulls are done for now. We're clearly going to consolidate longer term, and it's just been lower highs and lower lows since then. Alert system for ETH. So this 4 hour abnormal volume is standing out to me when I go back and back test, and that's because it's pretty much showing us what's going to happen the next short-term period. So this is going all the way back to December 3rd. So we're looking at 3 weeks of action here. Abnormal volume marked the top up at, let's see, that's actually ETC. So I pulled up the wrong chart here, but let's pretend we're talking ETC just to look at these alerts for a second. But it marked the top up at 528, pulled back. It marked the low for the temporary weak bounce. It marked the bottom for the more significant bounce. And then coming up here, it's pretty much marking periods of consolidation. We get the alert, we consolidate for the next 16 hours. There's one alert here where we did see some continuation, not much consolidation, but here's another one that led to 8 hours of consolidation and another one marking the top. So here we have 7 alerts of the abnormal volume, and really only 1 out of the 7 did not give short-term signals. And here on the 4 hour time frame, the short-term signals last, 8 to 16 hours, and some of them last a couple of days. So keeping an eye on the 4 hour abnormal volume, and let's now pull up the correct chart for ETH. ETH USD on Coinbase. So the 4 hour time frame here, again, very similar. And you can toggle on and off and choose the alerts that you want. But the 4 hour time frame gave us indications of consolidation. So the abnormal volume, we then consolidated for what looks like about 20 hours, 16 hours of consolidation, and then marking up the top. So on the way up, these abnormal volume signals are telling us that's the last bull push. Now we're getting some consolidation. Litecoin on the daily time frame, big upper wick, bearish reversal candlestick, pulling back and currently back testing the exponential support right now. So we had Bitcoin, who is pulled back under the daily exponential moving average support, Ethereum, who has space above that, and we have Litecoin pretty much in the middle of where those two stand. We are at that exponential support. So the next support levels that we're looking at, the 4 hour time frame, if we're going to see a bounce, we have to break 31.28, where we rejected a couple times from that resistance. And support is 29.62, 29.66, and then 28.64 after that. Bear cross of the exponential moving averages is happening right now. And if we look at the hourly time frame, a little bit of a descending wedge pattern as well. But anything under 31.28 is just a lower high, with the hourly exponential resistance rejecting the price there as well. So at this point, if I were looking for an entry, and actually I'll wrap up with that. So here on Litecoin 4 hour time frame, yet again, so abnormal volume indicating, the bull move getting started. So that was actually an alert that happened in the middle of the bull move, but we had an alert that led to temporary top and consolidation, and then again marking that top up there with that big upper wick and the volume climax indicating the significant pullback. So if I were a bear in any of these charts, knowing that the daily charts were extended, I would personally have been using the 4 hour time frame, because the 4 hour uptrend on a name like, let's just look at Ethereum, that 4 hour uptrend was so clear the whole way up, and then we saw the inside bar bear break, And that was really when we started to lose exponential supports. This candlestick here just 4 or 5 ago on that bear break. So what that looked like shorter term, again, the hourly bear flag and then just lower highs and lower lows. So the breakdown of support without a whole lot of support nearby. Ripple, big upper wicket profit taking as well. Anything above 355 is a higher low on the daily. And we have this little daily consolidation that we don't have on any of the other names. That's at 355. So that's an important level that the bulls want to maintain. Still seeing the exponential support on the daily with the bull cross already occurring. Bulls ideally want to hold that support. And again, we're looking for a bull break of, look at these inside bars. So XRP here, the 4-hour inside bar is certainly something we want to pay attention to. That's just a tightening equilibrium, getting tighter and tighter for quite some time. And we have to see a bull break here. Let's look at the hourly. So we need a bull break of 3918 for an indication that the bulls are going to see some upside. And again, at that point, we're just looking for a 4-hour lower high to form on any bounce attempt. If we get a bear break under 373, we're looking down at the next support level of 370 and then 355. So coming to a flex point here, and shortly after this video uploads, we will see a break of these inside bars that indicate, are we going to bounce and set the lower high, or is consolidation still underway? And that's pretty much going to be determined, in my opinion, by this Bitcoin potential descending wedge and whether or not the hourly time frame can break the lower highs. So that's where we stand as we head into the rest of this week. Daily consolidation underway. If I were not in a position, I would be looking for the daily higher low with signals of the 4-hour trend change. If the 4-hour trend does change, we will then have a support level to go off of, and that will be our key stop level, because if that support level were to break, that would clearly tell us that further consolidation back down to the recent lows is going to occur. And keep in mind the weekly time frames, depending on what this consolidation looks like, but these weekly time frames are setting lower highs now. Obviously, the week just started a couple days ago, but it's top on Bitcoin, Ethereum perhaps a bit more pronounced because of the initial bull move, right off exponential resistance on Ethereum. So again, just weekly lower highs being set right now have to change the daily trend, which we haven't done at this point. We saw a 9-day bull move with no trend change confirmation, just broke lower highs. We have to see the higher low and higher high continuation for the bulls to prove to us that yes, the daily trend has changed. At this point, it has not. Do good things. Have a good day. Say I love you to someone, and we'll see you tomorrow. I love you.